Alright, well, welcome everyone back to Unorganized Play. This is Rogue Panda, Jared here with another Lorcana stream for a little bit. Unfortunately, Jan Canna cannot be here to help me to chime in with his input on this card game, but it's just the two of us. It's just you and me tonight, folks. So what I have in store for you guys is today's my community's my community's Lorcana League, and I was able to play in it because I'm usually organizing it, and I got to get some input on some of the decks I have built using the new Res of the Floodborn set. So we're gonna go over a few of the two decks I have. We're gonna go over that. Each one, when I decide to put in what strategies works, and then after that, we will go and crack a pack. Well, actually, we're gonna crack a few packs. I got 6 packs here. 2 of them are from Chapter 1, and the rest are from Rise of the Floodborn. So we got 2 and 4. Alright, so let's hop in it real quick. So, this deck is not my main deck. This is going to be a deck I am currently building. My second deck I'm currently building for my sister who saw me playing this game, is a bit interested, and wants to try it out. So this deck is basically for someone fairly new to card games. She's played maybe tried playing a card game once or twice. Has played board games that I've shown her, but has never been in the real TCG type thing. And so this deck I wanted to be effective, but also competitive. You always want your deck to be competitive and something I could tool around with while when I don't not playing with my main deck. So we're gonna start off. This is a Sapphire Emerald deck. It's well, let's go with the first lineup. So with level ones, I'm gonna start be playing 4 Flounders. Most decks you're gonna try and run a. Sorry about the sleeves. There will be glare, but that's a little better. Yep. You definitely need 1 drops. It's a 1 drop for 2/2 with 1 lore. Solid. It's gonna be the backbone of most decks at the moment. Probably around like sets 3 or 4 vanilla ones. Vanilla 1/2/2s aren't gonna be much, but we'll see as the game progresses. But most of the stuff is gonna be with Sapphire and Emerald. What you're gonna want to do is um, Sapphire and Emerald have like a lot of cards that have a lot of characters with multiple lore. So in this case, the strategy is simple. I just want to race to get to 20 faster than you can set up anything on your side of the board. So in this case, there's going to be a lot of low level cards, but they'll have a lot of lore. Like for example, this Aurora. It's a 2 for a 2/2, but it quests for 2, so it's a very solid card. It will also come in handy when I do have it a shift mechanic. I'll show that when it comes into later. But from the new set, I'm added 3 Enchantress. It is a 2/1/1 quest for 2, but when it's challenged, it gets 2 additional attack. So if you run into this, it's going to be hit you like a 3/1. Most of the people who play Lorcana will see like the lineup's fairly recognizable. I'm just playing it's the Emerald Green turn sideways deck with a few extra cards I just put for Rise of the Floodborn. This one, Finn. If you're not sure, 3 Finns. It is 2 cost, 1/2. When you challenge this character, you must discard a card. Again, quest for 2. Like you'll see a lot. Green and blue have like ways of questing for 2. This one's Phil. It is a 2/3/1 for 1, but it has support, meaning when it quests, it does lend its strength to a different character. This is new from the set. This is Pain from Disney's Hercules. It is a 1/4 with the ability coming your most. What the heck? Coming your most lubriciousness. What the heck with some of these card abilities? While this character has 5 attack or more, it gains +2 lore. So it's a 1/5. It's a 1/4, making it sturdy. And if you're able to boost this guy's attack, it will gain additional lore for you to hunt down. So you already can see it's very heavy on the twos. It's just cheap ways to getting out people who can just dig for at least 2 lore or more. And then we hit the threes. You can't have pain without panic. It's a 3 cost uninctable. So let's see right here. It's a 2/3. When you play this, it says I can handle it. When you play this character, chosen character gets +2 attack this turn. If this chosen character is pain, he gets 4 instead, and also quests for 2. So what's happening is you play, just have pain on it, and then summon panic, and then instantly pain will be able to. You play pain on turn 2, then you can play panic on turn 3, boost up panic, and then he'll quest for 3 on the next turn. And that's pretty much the interactions. You just want to race your opponents by just getting too much lore that they can't. By the time by the time they try to get a foothold, it's already too late, and you're just waiting for that last couple of lore to hit for you to gain, and just claim the win. And this is a very effective deck that has seen play in my local stuff, in my local play group, and it can win. It wins more. It has a decent win record against certain decks. Like certain decks know how to take care of it, but for someone still learning the game, just turning cards sideways would be pretty simple for most people. Here, Chester Cat 3/0/3. Quest for 2. When you banish this character, it banishes the card that banishing the challenging character. So if you get rid of this card, be careful. It's the card the card that destroys it. It'll get rid of too. This one is 3 cost Jasper 2/4. Has the unfortunate name Puppy Napping. Whenever this character quests, chosen character can't quest during their next turn. So this is pretty much like just a good way of stopping a character from questing, especially if you want to keep them down. It forces them to do other things with a certain character. Usually, you want to choose the character that can't. That will quest for big points, and you just want to stop them for at least a turn, and it will, and it throws off the game. So now it's like, all right, well, if you throw off their math, it usually and you get the upper hand. They now have to be on the back foot. It's like, oh wait, now I'm behind. I have to stop you, and vice versa. And that's what this game is most of the time. Now we get to level 4, which is the only level 4s in here. It is a Tinkerbell, a 2/3, evasive, very good. Evasive is a very strong card. Again, green, quest for 2. When you play this character, other characters gain evasive. So this is very important. Sometimes you're going to go against evasive decks. She's evasive, so she won't. It's very hard for certain cards to hit her unless they have evasive. And I guess against a matchup with evasive cards, you want her around to give other characters evasive so you can take them down. This deck doesn't want to have to interact with the other opponents, but you have to. It's just because if they get ahead, you have to start hitting their board. You just can't ignore them the entire time. Usually you want them trying to mess with your board. But if they get ahead of you and stuff like this evasive, you'll need some answers. You'll need to fight back. Then we're going to 5. 5, the new card from Rise of the Floodborn is Ray. So he's a 5 cost 3/3 with evasive for 3 lore. And that's it. It's a common. It's a common 5 for 3/3 evasive, and that makes it. And for 3 lore, it's an amazing card. You just wanted to play it, and yeah, at a 5 cost, it's great. From set 1, we go back to Maleficent. For the same reasons, it's 5 for 3/6 with 3 lore. Again, the 3 lore is solid. You want that. You're just dropping a 5 with 3 lore. It makes it a threat. In this case, it can be evasive, but it has much decent stats. A bigger character has to chomp this, or at least 2 characters has to find a way to chomp this, or they need to have an answer, especially in a position where you have more lure than them and they can't risk you gaining more. For the deck, it gets this gets Aurora, Dreaming Guardian, 5 cost 3/5. It has shift instead. So with the 2 cost Aurora you have here, you can shift for 3. So effectively, you can play level 2 Aurora. You can put your level 2 Aurora turn 2, and then already by turn 3, you could put shift on to bigger Aurora. And what she does, she quests for 2, but what you want is your other characters gain ward. And that's very big. Ward protects your characters from silver steel decks that have, or any other deck that has like targets that target your other characters. You want them to focus on at least Aurora first before targeting your other characters, and usually your other characters are the ones with 3 lore and doing a lot more damage. Next, so this deck I toyed around with, played it, and then already made changes to it after having some suggestions with a few players who I played around with, and I'm gonna try out. That's why Pain and Panic are already here. But what I'm gonna try out today is Pete. It is a 5 cost 3/4 ward, which is good. It quests for 2. It has the ability to take that. When you play an action this turn, whenever you play an action, this character gets +2 this turn, +2 attack this turn. And then it has what's next. While this character is 7 attack or more, it gains 2 additional lore symbols. So what's happening is, if he gets to 7, he becomes a 5 that can quest for 4 on 1 turn with ward. And that's really powerful. Like, it could just sit there until it gets 7 because of ward, because they can't touch it. They can't directly touch it. With card effects, there are now more cards since Rise of Floodborn that lets you go around, but this card will stay safe if it's ready for the most part, and then you just play characters or things that bump up its strength, and then just quest for 4, and then that's big in most cases. That could be like an end. Like when they go through all this and then you just play this on turn 5 and go, yep, quest for 4, you're probably already like in the double digits and very close to ending it. The card that has seen a lot of play in the green decks is of course Cusco. 5 cost uninkable, 2/4. I'm sorry. Ward. Again, ward's very annoying to have to play around. No touchy when this character is challenged and banished, you may banish the challenging character. So if you get rid of this guy, he gets rid of the guy for you. But the problem is he has ward and he quests for 3. Most games, if you hit 17 and you play this, if you hit 17 personally and play this card, if they don't have the immediate answer for it, next turn you just quest for 3 and win the game. So like with this deck, if you hit 17 and you have Cusco, then you're most likely gonna win. And if you have multiple Cuscos, you just slayer them. Like, I play 1 Cusco. Do you have the answer to that? Cool. We'll play the second Cusco. Because certain decks will have ways of like trying to wipe a board, or they'll try and find ways to get rid of it. But most part, your chances of winning get really high playing this. Next up would be my 6th cost would be John Silver. Of course, legendary John Silver, 6 to play, inkable, 5/5. Pick your fights. When this character enters, plays, or quests, chosen opposing character gains reckless during that turn, meaning during that turn they have to fight. Usually they'll have to fight John Silver. If he's exerted, quest for 2. Again, if your opponent's a bit ahead and you need to stop them from gaining that extra lore to put you over, you want to play John Silver. Just playing him causes his ability, him questing causes that. It just shuts down certain characters from doing certain things. And lastly, for the character selection, I put in 3 genies. It's a 3/4 for 6, uninkable, evasive. Again, keyword evasive. Quest for 2, and When you play this character, you may return chosen character to that player's hand. That's this is just a good. It's just a solid ender. 3/4 evasive for 2 to finish off the game, or like this will bounce a character back to their hands. You're mostly going to be an opponent you want to get to stop, like a big guy from questing on the opposite end, or a threat you don't want to have to see until maybe the next turn, because now the player, once you bounce it, they'll most likely play it next turn. And this is the bulk of the deck. You can see it's a lot of small level characters just by looking at the overall deck space. You can see by character distribution. It's mostly going to be your main goal is to hit at least 5 to 6 lore on your inkwell. I mean 5 to 6 cards in your inkwell, and you can play all these cards. So it's relatively all the characters are really cheap to play, and there's a lot low level, so you can play multiple cards on your turn. Because the idea is like to keep applying pressure onto your opponent and forcing them to interact with you, and to keep that pressure going, you have the action cards. Because I'm playing Pete, I'm gonna try out this card. It's called Vicious Betrayal. It is a 1 cost inkable. Chosen character gets +2 attack this turn. If it's a villain character is chosen, they get +3 instead. So this instantly, if you had Pete out, this instantly gets him to 7 by just playing 1 action. He'll get 3 for if you target him directly because he's a villain, so he goes to 6, and then he gets +2 because you played an action. So I think this is going to be a solid card, particularly in the Pete deck. Like, there's been cards I'm looking for. Like, again, also it's cards I have available in my pool. Rise of the Floodborn is still freshly new. I don't have every card at the moment, so there'll be cards I'll probably be looking into once I play. I will test this deck a bit more. But let's see going forward. Of course, 2 copies of Develop Your Brain. 1 cost. Again, these are going to be just cheap 1 cost spells. I don't want to spend as much ink. It's mostly going to be trying to get it on bodies on the field. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put 1 into your hand and the other in the bottom of your deck. So if you're searching for an answer, I just need to be able to draw. And then with this deck, it's easy to run out of cards in your hand. So this at least gives you a chance to like cycle through and hunt for a card that you may need. Eyes of Fate. It's the four colorless. It says see the future. If you it's an item, so it comes on the field and stays there until someone preferably well, most likely your opponents remove it. Exert this card. Chosen character gets +1 lore this turn, and there's 2, so they do stack. So the idea is now even my low cost, if they get rid of all my high costs, I can still play my low cost, and if these 2 are in the field, they'll and if they can quest, they'll quest for 2 additional more, and that adds up. It stacks, it adds up. It just everything becomes a threat. Now you have to deal with every card I play if you can't get rid of this as well. Next one, and then finally 4 copies of Let It Go. It's 5 inkable. See, I want most of my cards to be inkable in this case because I just want to keep being able to play cards. I don't want to be stuck trying to figure out what to play over what. I just want to be able to play cards, turn them sideways. But Let It Go is 5 cost. It's a song, so a character 5 or more can sing this for free. So that's the thing. But most of the time, you're just gonna play it straight up. Put chosen character into player's inkwell face down and exerted. So if there is a threat that I can't handle, these cards shouldn't be able to handle or can't handle, this is where this comes in. Takes them all out, puts them in the inkwell. Sure, you're giving a person extra ink, but my plan is to be so far ahead that shouldn't matter. And this is the actual deck after seeing it all. Again, for someone learning this game, I think this is actually a really decent deck for them to try out. It's quick. It's overall simple. Complexity wise, it's the most user friendly, I would say, because it's just like play card turn sideways, and you should win a good chunk of your games. There is some thought and mastery to playing cards and timing and whatnot, but in general, like, you will find yourselves, if you find yourselves ahead, you should be fine. And Card wise, this is also a pretty good budget deck if you consider the cards you need. It's mostly commons and uncommons, and very few rares and legendaries are needed for this deck. And there's some cards I'm missing that I wasn't able to obtain. Like there's a caterpillar from Rise of the Floodborn. It's 3 cost 1/3, but it quests for 3, and it's a caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, and that is a solid card in here. If I wanted to jank this out a bit more, I could try and put Alice. Let's see, I do have a copy of her in here. The legendary card, Alice from this set. I have at least a copy of her. I could put this in. It's a 3 cost, inkable, 1/4. Good advice. Pretty much every card now has support. Every other card in on the board on your side now has support, so they can pump up each other. But if she gets pumped up to 10 or higher, she gets +4 lore, so she'll hunt for 5. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary because a lot of the cards are like lower level, and getting her to 10 will be much difficult than this one. And you don't want to build a large board that's asking, especially in a Ruby player, to saying, okay, I'm either gonna swords or I'm gonna be prepared and just wipe the board. But it is so this card I don't is a maybe in some cases. Like it would be helpful for if I play more Pete's. But overall, this deck is not super expensive, especially now with Rise of the Floodborn, because genies um, are fairly inexpensive. The most probably is John Silver and even Cusco, which is like the mainstay of most of the green decks. Um, but a good chunk of this, again, is just common and uncommons. And for someone like starting out and wanting to try out Lorcana, I think this would be a good deck to like try them out on, and then once they've played enough games, they can go like, I like it. It's like either they'll like it or they want to try something a bit more complex, or this isn't their flavor. They want to try something else, and then that's when you can slowly move them on to different types of play styles. Again, I got a few games in this. I was playing in a side event. Unfortunately, I faced against the Sapphire Ruby items deck, and that deck is rough. It just draws so many answers. Um, Once it develops, it just draws so many answers, and if you don't get ahead quick enough, then you just lose. I was able to take a game off it, and then two, I just like, my deck wasn't as optimized as it was now. I made a few changes like in that couple of hours after discussing with my opponent. And then we came on the similar census. Like he was also a friend of mine. Came to a census that this deck doesn't have to be so, in some cases, convoluted. In some cases, because I was running like the new evasive Cheshire Cat, and it wasn't needed. It's an 8 cost and shift, and instead it just easier to focus on playing enough characters to overwhelm you. And I think I'm going to try that this deck in maybe in the next event, see how this goes, just for testing purposes. I think we will go on to the next one. Oh, and so this is the other day our unorganized group have now reached affiliate level. Congrats us! It took us a god dang time, like 4 years since the inception. Never kidding, but we're here, and so we will try and try to put more effort in our streams, and just stream more in general. Um, until then, this is what we have, and I'm going to go on to the deck I played this league with. So when Rise of the Floodborn came out and they were started spoiling cards, there were some cards I just wanted to build. Like I saw cards, I was like, I want to build this deck. When I was already playing Ruby Amethyst, and when the new Scar, level 7 Scar came out, I was like, I want to play this card. This seems so cool. I want to build a deck with Ruby. What's the next card? Because I'm not sure on Amethyst. In the end of the day, after I did end up just returning back to Ruby Amethyst, simply because I liked where the mechanics were for the Mim Merlin bounce mechanics, mostly for the Mim cards, because they are so good. Like as I'll show you. All right, for this deck, I was playing 4 Archimedes. Again, it's a one cost, one, two for one. And also, had the deck out because I found myself needing more low level, and just for inks, inkables, or just small bodies on the field. I used Chip. Again, I could have used what's his name? Tibbs, Sergeant Tibbs, from the base set at Ruby, but I had this available, and Mr. Tibbs is in my binder. I didn't feel like pulling him out. I haven't bindered my Floodborn cards yet, so they were just easy to pull out, and I had 4 chipped already. After that, and they just serve as the one drops that fill in any role. They just fill in the role of putting a body in. I need inks. It's easier just to put a level 1 ink at to get the tempo started with a level 1 character. Helps this deck out immensely. Or just filling in one like, oh, I need ink. I drew a level 1. It becomes my ink. Next is LeFou. Now LeFou is great. Two cost 2/2 for one. When you play this character, you may ready a chosen character, so it has a lot of uses. It's a very versatile card for keeping your character safe. You can also target opponents' bodyguards. If you don't want if the bodyguard's protecting a character you want to hit, you just ready him with LeFou. He's no longer guarding that body, and has been inkable, so he's a really good versatile character in the deck. For the new one, for new cards, we have Madame Mim. So we talked about this before. It is a 2 cost inkable, 3/3 for one, and all the Mim cards, most of the Mim transformation cards, just say in order to play you need to return a character to your hand or this gets banished. So same thing. It's easy. Just turn 2, play this character, bounce one of your level 1s if you played it, and then now that card goes to your hand. You can quest with that level 1 beforehand, and then just save it, and now it's in your hand. You could ink it, you could do whatever, you could play it again. But this lets you play, gives you a lot of versatility plays, as long as you have a character on the field. So if not, you just ink it and play something that can hit the field without having to do that. Next one, which I really like, and it's been seeing a lot of utility uses, more than I realized, is the 2/2 Queen of Hearts. 2 inkable, 2/2 rush, and a quest for one. Just having a 2/2 that rushes when he comes out of the field it can answer so many problems on board, like either a mini character you needed to get rid out of the way, a character that attacked one of yours and now has like 1 or 2 left you want off the board. You just play the queen. She'll fix that up right and quick. Also, she's a target for the shift queen, which I'll show when we get to the level 5s. I'm just gonna go everything in order. So with this deck, it's very challenge heavy. This deck I kind of want to be challenging. If there's a card to challenge, it's gonna be challenged. But most times when they figure that out, you will have issues like having targets. So the answer is simply just play Elsa. Elsa's the 3 inkable, 2/3. Her ability is freeze. Exhort her to exert a target character, and quest for one. So if you needed a character you needed to exert, this is your answer. Play her, exert the targets you want, and just get rid of them off board. Following that, from the new set, is another card I loved seeing when I saw this card, and I wanted to play both. I wanted to play Scar. I also wanted to play the Tiger Shere Khan. 3 costs, 3/3 for 3 ink, inkable, 1 lore, but its ability, don't insult my intelligence. Whenever one of your character challenges another character, gain 1 lore. So now anytime I challenge a character, I gain 1 lore. So all my fighting nets me more lore, and these cards stack. So I have multiple Shere Khans out. If I challenge one guy, I get 2 lore. If I have all 3 out, it's 3. I'm debating. Originally I wanted 4. I just don't own 4, so I just playing 3 for now. As during the tournament, this didn't come up as well. Like having multiples didn't seem as important, so they're still good. I just don't think I need four. Well, we'll see on that if I just want to see it more often. But to round out the threes, I have also the next mim card is the Meta Mim Fox. Same templating. It's a three. It's the same templating. You have to bounce a character in play, or she banishes herself. Yeah, it's either banish this or bounce a character. 3 ink, 3 inkable, 4/3. It has rush and it quests for one. Having a 3 cost 4/3 that just rushes, it's a better Rafiki. Personally, I think this is a better Rafiki. In my everyone playing purple would play Rafiki. This now kind of takes over in a sense. Could take over that spot. Again, yes, you need a card you want to save, but if you've been playing this carefully enough, you will have targets you want to flip. If not, you just ink it. So this card I put in simply just in case I have to hit certain metas, and I think this is a very good card that I think is being slept on. Personally, I'm playing Peter Pan Shadow. It is a uninkable 2/3, but get all the abilities. It's a 2/3 with evasive. All right, that's great. It has rush. Okay, so it can swing it as it comes out. It's a bit weak, but it can swing as it comes out. It quests for 2. So technically, this is like a Pongo and more stuff. But the final ability is what takes the cake. Your other characters with rush gain evasive. So now this card has so much utility, simply because all the characters now I just said that have rush, while he's on the field, now can hit anyone with evasive. And some decks have a lot of evasive characters, and they're very hard to answer, especially if you don't have the built-in removal. But now Peter Pan here just comes on the field. It can rush against a small evasive, but essentially you want him on the field, and then just play your bigger guys with rush, and just run over, and then heal those quests for 2, because he's just a Pongo at that point. And I think he's very slept on. He's not that expensive now. That's why I was able to obtain 3 fairly easily. And I don't know. We'll see how this goes later on. But I do think I do like this add-on when I chose this card. Speaking of rush cards, I'm playing 3 copies of Zeus. So it's a 4 cost uninkable. I know my 4 slots are uninkable, but again, that's why I have so many of these once drops to cover for it. It's a 0/4. It quests for 2. It has rush, so it can hit evasive if Peter Pan's on the field. But it has Challenger 4, meaning this is technically, when he's challenging, a 4/4. And I do run 3 of it. I don't want to clog my hand out full of uninkables, because essentially, yeah, everything here is inkable until we get to the 4s, and then up, thankfully. Next, for my 5 spots, I'm running 3 of Queen of Hearts. This is a 5 inkable 4/3. That's a bit not the best stats for a 5, but what happens is shift 2. So with the 2/2 rush queen, this card immediately can come out like turn 3 if you have it. For 2, you don't even have to play the additional lore for it. Ink for it to get it out. Just play. If you're able to play the small queen, you can instantly shift into this one. And what it has is whenever one of your characters challenges another character, you may draw a card. So now this just draws you cards. Now, like with all the aggressive cards in my deck, now I have the benefit of either gaining lore or now drawing cards. And of course, if there's multiples out, it triggers multiple times. You don't want it. You have to just be careful. You don't want to deck yourself out, because if you deck yourself out, you definitely will lose. But it's definitely a good mainstay. It's seeing a lot of play in the Ruby decks just because you can play 4 of. Because you can just think it, or just play it outright for 5 if you don't have the small queen. After that, or in some cases I've seen people I've had to swing with this character to draw the card, play a mem card to bounce both cards if I shifted them up early enough, and now I have 2 cards in hand to play with, and then just hard summon both of them separately. In this case. Or just have additional, and those cards are both inkable. I can make a bigger plays with the inks I need with additional ink. And of course, one of the better cards, solid card is Maui. Um, Hero to all. 5 cost inkable, 6/5 rush and reckless. So it has to attack every turn, but that's what he's there for. He's a 5/6 with rush, and now with the synergy of Peter Pan Shadow, it now hits evasives. So that's just great. It's almost like it's instant removal in most cases. There is no level sixes. This deck runs a bunch strict level fives, but it does go higher with the power curve after six. We have, of course, the card I wanted to play when it came out. Uninkable 7 Scar 6/5, same stats as Maui. It has Rush as well, so again, a lot of synergy. Um, Daddy isn't here to save you is his ability. Like it's printed on here. Daddy isn't here to save you. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in the challenge, you may ready this character. It can't quest for the rest of the turn. So it has two lore, but we're gonna ignore the two lore because it's not. That's not what it's there for. That's just should he not have anything to kill. This guy comes in, will attack if he banishes, and he will most likely with six. He just readies himself to do it all over again. So definitely a better version of the Maui, who could rush in and take care of one. This will take on multiple targets if they're especially the small weaker targets. Like at least one small target, one big one. Well, depending on how well you use your attacks. But love this card. It's one of my favorites. Next is because I'm playing small Elsa, I'm also playing 2 copies of Big Elsa, 8 uninkable. So you have to be careful with how many uninkables I have in this deck. Shiv 6, still a bit heavy. Shiv 6, 4/6, quest for 3, deep freeze. When you play this card, exert up to 2 characters. Those characters don't ready at the start of the ready phase. So this jumps in, locks 2 characters down, and the fun stuff with most of the cards in my high end, because they do stuff when they interplay, or they have like immediate abilities when the turn they're played. If I bounce them with Mim, I just use them next turn. So there was a situation in the tournament I played this card for no effect. There was a Cusco out on his board. I played it just because I knew I can, and so I can quest, and then I have a level 2 Mim card in hand. The following turn, I just played Mim, put this back in my hand after. Well, I forgot the quest, so here's a bad player by me. I had this on the field, ready to quest. Somehow, for some reason, panicked and just popped her back into my hand with Mim, forgetting to quest. Thankfully, I still won that, but that was a very dumb maneuver on my part. But I played her again just to freeze out two characters after the Cusco was taken out. The guy was behind. Unfortunately couldn't keep that guy standing without. He needed the lore more than Cusco standing for X amount of turns of waiting. And the final character in this deck is 9 cost Dragon Maleficent. Monstrous Dragon. 9 cost inkable, so she's still inkable. So if you have her early enough, you could just ink. You could just play her as ink. 7/5, 2 lore. Dragonfire. When you play this character, you may banish a chosen character. So yeah, he's just instant removal. It's like at some points it could just be overkill, but it definitely just gets rid of the answer on the field. Actions and items. I play 1 Shield of Valor. It basically is the item of version of LeFou. It's a 1-drop item, inkable. Spend this and spend 3 ink to ready chosen character. It doesn't say my character or opposing. It could be either or. They can't quest for the rest of the turn. That's fine. For utility. Purple has one of the best draw cards. Friends on the Other Side. 3 cost inkable, draw 2 cards. This is also a song, so a level 3 character can sing it and just net you 2 cards without paying any ink. So that's always solid. New card is Dinner Bell. It's 4 cost uninkable. Exert and spend 2. Draw cards equal to damage on chosen character of yours. Then banish them. Yep. So basically, if you have any damaged characters, you need Nor cards, just sacrifice them to the bell. And then we have these three, of course, Dragonfire. So if I'm playing Maleficent Dragon, of course you're gonna run three Dragon. I'm gonna run three Dragonfire, 5 cost, uninkable, banish target chosen character. And the final one. So if things are getting really bad and I need to wipe the board, I need an answer for something, I have at least two Be Prepareds, which is a song for level 7. So even Scar can sing his own song, Be Prepared. It just banishes all characters on both sides of the board. Again, it's a desperate. If I can't lock them down, which would be very bad, or they got together way too fast. If I have time, I need to play Be Prepared. So overall, this is a bit more pricier deck as it is. This is the deck I'm currently running to my local league plays. Definitely more money was put into making this deck. Like Shere Khan's already 9. To just play I'm playing 3 different legendaries and multiple copies of them. Scar has been rising in price because he's being popular. Elsa's and Maleficent Dragon. So this is definitely on the more higher end decks to build. There are various versions of this deck online already on Pixelborn. And then there's one thing that says uses infinite combo with Dr. Facilier and LeFou and other Mim. And I just that one that's more gimmicky, I think, because you just have to assemble all those pieces just to get that running. And there'll be decks like, again, we said Green Blue would just outpace it. Same with Sapphire Red. They'll just have more answers to anything you try. They'll just board wipe. Like one Be Prepared ruins that combo. It's a fun combo that is possible, just unlikely in a competitive scenario. Yeah. Any changes with deck? I might, depending on it. I don't know if I need an extra Shere Khan in this one. Maybe just be fudging with the numbers a bit. But right now, I'm really happy how this deck turned out. And I'll definitely take it to more events and see how well it does. Again, my only way of actually like improving decks is simply just like continue playing with them and seeing any shortcomings, or based off like the meta of the turn, what do I need to change, what do I need, what don't I need, and that's how you should that's how it just usually happens. All right, so we're gonna get rid of this deck. So with that, I hope you guys got some good tips on building how I built some of these decks, or any of at least for the beginner's deck. I think that one is a good intro for anyone who's interested in anyone who's not played TCG and wants a simpler deck to play. That one is definitely your go-to. Trust me, like the thing is, like even with a deck like this, could lose to a deck like that one I just showed you, simply because if I can't take control of that game and make sure to stomp down every one of your characters, and you just get so far ahead, it doesn't matter what I do. I will 100% need the answer for everything you do at the later stage of the game. And I've seen that Green Sapphire deck like win now consistently against even like decks that just have like so many cards money cards put into them, which is a good design of the game. Like there's various ways to play it. But enough with the deck talk. Let's go back to what I promised before, and that is cracking some more packs and seeing if my luck holds. All right, we got 6 packs today. 2 of them are Chapter 1. The rest are Rise of the Floodborn. Let's just go and handle the Rise of the Floodborn packs. I don't care what Larry would do. He's not here. He's not a part of the stream. I'm doing it my way. All right. So we're gonna go with we're gonna do the chapter 1s, Maleficent and Mickey. All right, we'll see. There's some still. I have most of the cards in set 1, so I don't know if I need any cards in here. Well, I need the legendaries and enchanted. I won't say no to any of that. But I'm pretty full on chapter 1. But for content, let's see what we get. We get level 1. We got 1 cost. Hey. 1, 2. Whatever. Oh, support. It's okay. Freeze. Exert chosen character for 2. Uninkable. Stolen Scimitar. Chosen character gets +1 this turn. If this character is Aladdin, it gets +2. It's okay. Develop your brain. Decent card. For 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put 1 into your hand and the other one in the bottom of your deck. Again, that definitely sees a lot more play. Just because you want to, if you're hunting down for an answer, that's what you. That gives you 2 options to pick the one you want. A poo. 3/2/3 cost 2. It's okay. That's funny. Goons. 1 cost 2/2/1. Again, you always need goons. You always need that. Like, technically, all the 1/1/2, the 1 cost 2/2s are goons in some sense. You just need. They're just the backbone of a deck. Jumba Jukiba, 4/5/2/2. 5 cost 4/5. They quest for 2. Yeah, there's not, but there's so many now 5 cost 2 5/5s that quest for 2 that he kind of, it's kind of been overshadowed. 1 jump ahead. It's a song. 2 cost uninkable. Put the top card of your ink. Put the top card of your deck into your ink world face down and exerted. Again, if you needed to ramp, it's a decent card. The deck I showed you before doesn't necessarily need to ramp. It just plays so many cards. And most of the cards are inkable. Be your guest. Look at top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card and put it in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. Again, it still sees play because people need... In Amber, you need to hunt down for characters. 2 cost that sings. It's great. And just because there's a lot of singers in that deck, you want... It has a lot of abilities with singing. You want it. Next one. Steal from the rich. Whenever one of your characters quests this turn, each opponent loses 1 lore. 5 costs uninkable, not really worth it. It just fodder in the deck. Next card is another rare. Oh, Ariel. Whenever you play an item, you may ready this character. 4 uninkable, 3/3 for 1. If you're an item heavy deck, it saw a bit of play. Simply because it quests, it doesn't have the clause may not quest. It just readies every time you play an item because she collects. And we have a common Horus, 4/3 for 1. Vanilla creature. Okay. So 4. Alright, next one. We get the next one here. Yep. And again, I like how they set it up. So it goes from common, uncommon, rare, or better, and random foil. So alright, so we come back. We do see random flounder. Again, can't be mad at 1/1/2 vanilla. Oh, and talk about 1 cost 2/2s. Sergeant Tibbs. Like every color at least has 1 2/2. 1 cost 2/2 for 1. Dinglehopper, remove up to 1 damage from a chosen character for 1. Yzma, Alchemist. Whenever this character quests, look at the top card, look at the top card, put it on, either on the top and bottom of your deck. It's a good cycle. It just doesn't see play often. Stolen Scimitar, we went over. Prince Eric. Again, this is a very good Prince Eric if you want because the Challenger 2. Scepter of Arendelle. Chosen character get you spend this to give a character support. It is a 1 cost inkable item. I would think about putting in the Pete deck, but there's so many characters that don't have it doesn't seem as worth. Just using Pete's ability would get you there faster than using this. Cinderella 4, 2/5. Quest for 2 singer. Remove the 3 runes from a chosen princess character. We have uncommon Simba. 3/5. 5 costs uninkable. I know what I have to do. Quest for 2. During this turn, whenever a character banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 1 lore. Ooh, nice. So as I said, I got Be Prepared. Definitely in Ruby, you would like to see Be Prepared. Banishes all characters. It is a song. So definitely like that card. I got a legendary. Oh, I'm scared. I'm still lucky. I get the legendaries. All right, that legendary symbol's right there. I get perfect. I needed this. I still need to collect a bunch of legendaries. John Silver, welcome, welcome to the club. We went over it. 6 cost inkable, 5/5. Pick your fights. When you comes in quests, a character gets reckless. It needs to fight, and the last card is a common. So this is great to have pulled in the set 1 boosters. I was promised a legendary. Ooh, nice. Very gaudy. Jafar, Wicked Sorcerer. 4 costs, inkable 2/5, Challenger 3. So he attacks like a 5/5. It's okay. But I pulled a legendary. So there. I wasn't sure I'd pull a legendary. So guys, legendaries only happen 3 in a box, and I'm just pulling random packs. So yeah, if there was a legendary counter, I'm definitely up. Now, so I'm definitely happy about that pull. And it's these 2 cards just oof. Like I have extras of Be Prepared, so that's definitely tradable. I definitely needed this, but seeing these 2 cards back to back is great. All right, so now we're going to a Rise of the Floodborn. Can I get lucky with that? I don't know. I'm asking a lot. I'm asking a lot of my luck right now, but we'll go in order. So yeah, 3 of these packs I was holding on to when my store again, Manifest Comics, Mayon, great store. Definitely likes building. Definitely supports their local community, Lorcana community. So these were some of the last 3 packs they had left in the store after like I waited to make sure everyone else got theirs. And then of course we do have packs, but strictly for people participating in our league. This week and next week was if you just play all 3 rounds, you will get a pack of Floodborn. And for the entrance fee, yeah, that's you get to play and get a pack. So no one's gonna. I wouldn't argue about that at all. All right, let's see what this has. I'm asking for a lot, but let's see. Okay, we got Happy. 5 cost, 3/5 support, 2. Yep, that's good. I went over that one. I'm stuck. Exerted character does not ready, so it's the other half of Elsa's ability. Tigger. When you play actions, it pumps up it a bit. It's okay. Sleeping Donald Duck. Whenever you play an action, it gets stronger for fights. Again, the Donalds in this set aren't that great. 1 cost Vanilla L. I mean, if they ever shift them, make a shift character or something like that, it'd be worth playing. Last Cannon. That's what I'm looking for. It's uncommon. This is definitely what I wanted. It's Caterpillar. Calm and collected. It is playing that nice silver sax, 3 cost, 1/3. But look at that lore. It is 3 lore that you don't want. Your opponent does not want to see you questing with. Definitely like a lot of the cards you want in the 2s in this set, oddly enough, is the commons and uncommons to fill out some of your decks. This is definitely one of the ones. The store does not have this. I looked for this card. Someone swooped those things up. Last Stand. Banish chosen character who has challenged this turn. Who has challenged this turn. So this is for Amber. Like if you can't win the fight, like if you could attack someone, even do a little bit of damage. It was challenged. This card will get rid of it. We'll finish off the fight. Again, Binding Contract. I talked about this card. It could be good. It's just, it's definitely just maybe a one of, maybe at the very least. All right, we got to our rare, and our rare is Little John. 6 cost, 6/6 for 2. It's in green. It has to be at least 2. It's a big card. 6 cost, 6/6. All right, that's good. And the last one is another rare. Is it a good rare? Let's see. I already talked about this. It is Rabbit Merlin. 4 cost, 2/3. Whenever this character enters and leaves play, draw a card. It's a I it, there's a deck for it. Still think it's a one of. It's not that great personally. And the next card is common foil, and we got James, the bigger version of Grandma Talia. Tali. All right, cool. All right. Again, I've only opened 14 packs, so this makes 18 of Floodborn. So any new cards I get, I still want to add to my collection. Like, I'm not going to be so gung-ho about this chapter 2 as I was chapter 1. I pretty much I've collected a playset of almost every card except the legendaries, so seeing John Silver in my pack was great. So it saves me a bit of time and money to get that one. So, alright, we have Hold Still, Healing card. We got Fairy Godmother, 3 cost, inkable, 3/4. Whenever you play a card named Cinderella, you can exert chosen character. So it's a very selective exerting card. Again, Elsa's better at doing that for 3. Even if she technically has better stats, it's so conditional and just not. What did you call me? Don't call writing in the wrong thing. Chosen damage character gets +3 this turn. So it's a 1 cost. It's a decent cantrip. Again, Ruby has gotten a lot of cards that say damage your character first to do something. There's definitely a better version card than this one. 2 cost Gaston, Scheming Suitor. Yeah, that's this slimy guy trying to court someone. 1/3. When one or more while one or more opponents have no cards in their hands, this character gets +3 attack. So if you have no cards in hand, he's a 4/3. And then again, this game is can be played with multiplayer, so he's there. That's the reason. It's a vanilla rabbit. It's 4. It's 5 cost, 5/6. That quest for 2. We've seen Maleficent in the other deck. There's no reason to play this one over that one, unless you don't have her. And by all means, I'd rather play the Caterpillar, which I hope I get more of. 5 cost Donald Duck Deep Sea Diver, 6/5, 1 lore. Sometimes you just need a big guy to punch things, and especially in silver. Because again, you can only mix up 2 colors, so you need a bit of some cards that do things outside outside of silver's abilities. 3 cost Minnie Mouse, Stylish Surfer, 1/3 evasive for 2. Again, better than the Diver evasive card by a long shot. Like 1/3 for 2. And evasive, yeah, that's just good. There's a Lawrence. We talked about him enough. I don't want to talk about Lawrence. Solid card in constructed. It's still solid. Oh, this one's a great uncommon for the green decks. So Emerald definitely has a a deck that relies on discarding cards. There's even a big Finn, that shifting Finn that needs your opponent not to have any cards, and a lot of cards in this new set reflect that archetype of forcing your opponent to discard. Anytime you play a Floodborn, you may discard a card, and there's actually enough Floodborns that this is well worth it. Like, there's the Ruby one that says every time you play a Floodborn, lose a lore, and that's the reason why this is better than that one, is because losing a card is so detrimental versus losing a lore. You can always regain the lore. In various scenarios, like sometimes being one off can ruin your game, but overall you can always gain back the lore. Losing a card is a resource that you can't afford to lose sometimes, especially if you need a hand. Like, if you don't have a hand, you go play the game. And that's why the rare version of this card isn't that great, personally speaking. Oh, I don't have any of this card, so any new cards from this set, I don't mind. Mulan, Reflecting. 4 cost, 3/3. She is Floodborn. It's because she's not normally this decked out. Shift 4, quest for 2. Whenever this card quest, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a song, you may play it for free. Otherwise, put it on top of your deck. So again, Ember has a lot of good songs and a lot of good singers. She just, hey, I'm gonna look for a song and play it. And it could be our guest or anything like that. And last card, rare for this. It's still rare, so that's not bad. Okay, we got the starter deck. Gaston, 4/4/6 uninkable. Shift 4. When you play this character like the top 3 cards of your deck, you may put one to your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. Quest for 3. Again, this is in the Ruby Sapphire deck, just to be able to draw cards. It is really annoying. Yeah, he does have a place in that deck because you just want to keep drawing answers. And even if you don't have the small guest on, you don't worry because you are in Sapphire. You will have 6, and you just reload a dangerous hand. And ooh, it's a rare. Oh, ha! This is what happens when I insult the card. Oh, maybe we should do it often. Honest John. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, each opponent loses 1. Again, not enough. Like, it's not bad, but it's just not. It's not game impactful enough. In this case, because you have to rely on playing this card in a bunch of Floodborn. And I'd rather lose a lore than lose a card, or like draw a card. Like there's just a bunch, but a foil version isn't bad. This one, so here, and here. All right, we got 2 more packs to go. Maybe pull some supers. I definitely need more supers to fill out the deck. Fill out some space in my new binder, which I have to pick up. Oh, I mean order. All right, 2 more packs. Let's see. This one has the Queen, which again I love. Like Queen of Hearts in my deck is great addition. All right. Nope, got it. So we got Sneezy. We're getting over that. We got Fairy Godmother. We got Lady Tremaine. This one, when you play this character, each opponent with more lore than you loses 1 lore. It's not bad. Again, what makes it different is at least it's 2 costs, uninkable 2/2. There's actually a shift version of her that's better, but you don't have to play her to play the other one. And like again, Sapphire Ruby just plays at 6 costs, like it's no trouble. Simply because they just have enough ink to do it on a consistent basis. We got Gaston, Scheming Suitor. We got Gumbo Pot. We got Donald Duck, Deep Sea Diver. We got Goat Merlin. So when he comes in or leaves play, you gain a lore. This isn't bad. Gaston. Baritone Bully. Some of these titles for some of the characters are hilarious. Like someone definitely has fun making these. Singer 3. The singing type. Sardine Can. Let me pull the rare, so I pulled that a bit out of place. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about with the discard deck. Flynn Rider, his own biggest fan. Shift 2, so he is relatively easy to get out. He has a total of 4 lore on his side. He's evasive. The problem is your opponent has... This character has -1 lore for each card in your opponent's hand. So this card definitely relies on your opponent having no cards. But it is still a good card. Like if you build the deck around it, it's definitely one of the key characters you need. Oh, cool! I got a super. That is Namari. So 4 uninkable 3/3. Banish this character. Banish chosen character. I don't know how to feel about this. It's okay. It's a banishing card. I don't know if I'll see as much play as people as I don't know. but I don't think it's in the sealed. I think it's okay. It's again a cheaper version. It's a cheaper version of Dragonfire, but you have to be able to banish it late. You have to use it later. It's it's okay, and it's an uncommon. Okay, we have Nana. When you play a Floodborn character, you may remove all damage from chosen character. Yeah, uncommon. It's fine. All right, so we're down to the last pack. I mean, I'm definitely just asking too much to pull another legendary, or God forbid an enchanted. But let's see if I can do it. If not, I'm done pulling packs for a little while. I need to recharge the thing. But if not, let's see. All right, I think this is the pack I got from today's league. So this might be fresh from a fresh box. That means more luck there. Let us see what we got. It has beast. Maybe I'll pull a beast. Nope, come on. Watch me fail as I open a pack for the next few seconds. Okay. So, yep. One cost Finn. Again, you could play Finn into Shift Finn in turn 2 if they don't have any cards. One cost, 1/3, quest for 1. Again, there's the 2 cost one that you could just play as well. Just they're both good. Well, if you want to play this, you're going to play that most likely. Just to get it out faster if should you need to, but I don't think you need to get that fast till you set up your opponent's hand with nothing. When you play this character, move 1 damage from chosen character of yours. So oddly enough, like a lot of the Jasmine cards just heal. 1 cost, 1, 2, 2. We've seen Happy. He has support. He's always supportive. Jiminy Cricket, he is a 2 cost, Inkable, 1/2 evasive, quest for 1. When you play this card, if you have when you play this character, if you have a character named Pinocchio in play, you may draw a card. Again, if you need to rely on a specific card, it's not as great unless the card's really good. Unless the card you're playing is really good, then I don't see. 4 cost Uninkable Mulan, Soldier in Training, 4/3 Rush. Again, there's so many better versions of Rush than this Mulan. Well, here's a beast. 4 Inkable, 3/4. When you play this character, you may damage 1. You may deal 1 damage to chosen character. You are not welcome here. A good, decent pinger. We have our Judy Hopps. We've gone over this one, so I won't go over that one. We've gone over this one. The Card Soldiers, again, that should have been a 5. That will irk me for a while. Li Shang, 3/6. Makes other characters evasive when he quests. And this is the rare. Yes, we have the rare. And the rare is the Huntsman. 2 Inkable, 1/1. Whenever this character quests, you may draw a card, then choose and discard. So it just lets you cycle. It's okay. Last card is going to be a rare. Okay. Alright, I was asking too much to pull another legendary. Radigan's Marvelous Trap. If you remember, it's the trap that he thought he could kill Basil with. It was dreadful overkill, like classic villain-esque. 3 uninkable. Banish this item. Each character loses 2 lore. Again, losing 2 lore, especially for an item that banishes itself to lose 2 lore, is not worth it half the time. No, it's definitely not worth it. Again, losing lore isn't like unless the character unless it's super situational, and you're gonna win next round, and he just deducts lore from you, and will win next turn. This card doesn't really. You'd rather not play this card. Oh, foil rare. That's good. Well, we'll see. A foil Cobra Bubbles. 7 cost, 5/9 for 2. Just a shiny 5/9 for 2. It's still rare, so that's really good. That's interesting. Alright. Yeah, that's it. Alright, they all can't be winners, but I still pulled a legendary in one random pack. So at least there's that. Overall, it's fun pulling out new cards. I definitely had most of the there's a bunch of cards I don't have from this set, so pulling out and just getting uh, that collection whittled down a bit more because you definitely need having one of everything. I think might be my goal for chapter 2. I don't think I need play sets. Um, but just opening packs and seeing the new cards you can get definitely is always fun. Um, still, still didn't think I'd pull one of these. Didn't pull a legendary. It still happened. But with that, I guess that's gonna wrap up my stream. Hope you had fun. Hopefully this was insightful. We promise you, we will have more content later on. We will announce as is. Again, we are an organized play. It takes us a while to get our stuff together. It took us a while to get this channel all going. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me. For those who were able to make it out to check it out. Until then, see you next time.